Hello and welcome to this section of the Matlab tutor. Here we're going to begin to talk about vectors in Matlab. And in truth, vectors and matrices really form the core of Matlab. In fact, the name of Matlab X, Y, and Z. If you 0, 2, 5, which is element 1, element 2, and element 3 of a vector. The position vector, all these things here. If you're reading anything about a vector, see here's a vector defined up at the top, and return to me. It'll accept the 6. Hello and welcome to this section of the Matlab tutor where we're going to learn how to multiply matrices together. And when I say multiply matrices, I'm talking about the mathematical definition that you learned by multiply these two together. This were like a 10 by 10 matrix type and then a 10 by 2. Okay, and we are able to get numbers here. Just subtract 2, Matlab's. Hello and welcome to this section of the Matlab tutor. Here we're going to learn how to define functions in Matlab. And when I mean functions, when I say functions, I mean mathematical functions, f of x or f of y. And as you might imagine, and f of x is what we get out. But in Matlab, you have to be very explicit. You have to tell it, here's what the function do to create a function I'm going to call sines and cosines and logarithms and exponential functions. Anything Matlab is comfortable with, you can do. Of x, let's say, plus e to the power of y, where my independent variables are x and y. Right? So this is a two-dimensional. Now down below in the command history is literally what it sounds like. This is the history of every. It'll say 9:20 or it'll say 9:21 at whatever time, and then I'll have a history of tomorrow here as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, again, I can just double click that and there you go. So you never really lose anything even by doing this. We'll talk about that because this is a little more powerful. I can actually create end files, which are the Matlab files listed here. But when I create my Matlab files, they're going to automatically be listed here. I'll be able to select them. It's going to pull up a plot window. Trace function in a graphing calculator. I can hit this data cursor. Hello and welcome to this section of the tutorial. We're going to be sine h. You would spell it out just like you would on it, 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 like tangent. Okay, and then basically you have the 6 main hyperbolic functions available to you in Matlab to use in any way that you might need to, and also their inverses are available as well. So the rest of the inverses work basically the same for tangent, cosine. Of course, you can also look in the help menu if you kind of forget some of these things, but more or less you type these hyperbolic functions in just as you would write them in a piece of paper or as you would see them in a textbook.